Hey, what's going on there, folks? Earthmaster here. It is February 23rd, 2018, 4:07 p.m. here in the state of California. And of course, got you looking at some live earthquake data feed over here on the left-hand screen. Also, a live view of Yellowstone National Park there with the webcam on the upper left corner, and also Earthquake 3D, pretty cool app. With 3 data feeds included in it, along with USGS, the EMSC, and also GeoNet data, earthquake data there. So anyway, we'll go ahead and do an earthquake video update real quick in regards to, well, most recent activity in Yellowstone National Park, and also earthquake activity there in California next to the Bay Area once again. More specifically in that general location there on the northern Calaveras Fault section that I've been talking about here for quite some time. This here is just outside of the, well, southeast of Berkeley. Now this here is kicking off a little bit on the stronger side compared to what we've seen last week, with a couple mid-3s there, and a higher magnitude, no doubt, than what we were seeing last week in this specific area. I do want to go over here and show you guys real quick. Let me pull up this map here and show you guys the exact fault system where it's taking place at. We'll use USGS and we'll hit the terrain along with the US fault maps here, and bring you guys in here to a little bit better detail and view of where this earthquake activity is taking place and the importance of where it's taking place at the moment. If you haven't checked it out, please watch my earthquake video in regards to the California activity. Now once again, okay, so this here is the Calaveras Fault Zone here. This is actually the northern part, kind of where it ends up here, and then it extends down here through the south. And then over here you got the Hayward Fault System, where these two are possibly connected and linked together underneath the ground. There has been some debate in whether they are or not, but we're focusing right now on the increased earthquake activity near Danville, and also just north of San Ramon, right in that town of Danville, it looks like, just right outside of it, near Mount Diablo over here as well. You got Mount Diablo up here towards the northeast, but this area is it's kind of in a important area here, because you got the Calaveras Fault Zone, the northern section, and this is the area that we're talking about where, well, it's possible we could see a larger earthquake take place, more likely than not, according to some of the more recent studies here. And this study I was reading was actually about 10 years old, is when they did this study in regards to the possibility of a larger earthquake occurring in this part of California on this specific fault section, and right at the northern tip of it is where they're worried about. And this was 10 years old, the data I was reading. So we've been pretty fortunate. We haven't had any major quakes on this fault system, but you know, over the 10 years, stress has no doubt been building up. And whenever I see an increase in earthquake activity out here, I like to give out a watch. And of course, California is always on earthquake watch, but you know, sometimes we do see triggers and little signs that point towards possibly a bigger earthquake occurring, following like this little swarm here that we're having right in the risk zone, in this high risk zone there near Danville on the northern section of the Calaveras Fault System, folks. And the depth of these earthquakes are roughly the equivalent to about 6 kilometers below the surface, give or take almost a kilometer. And so it's pretty important to watch this very closely, as we could see, well, a stress release in that region, and more likely a larger earthquake than not, just due to the amount of stress that has been building up in that area. Of course, I'm not saying, and I never have, saying that Okay, folks, an earthquake is going to hit here today or tomorrow. Well, it's obviously going to hit tomorrow or next day, or it may lay off for another 10, 15, 20 years. It may happen as I'm speaking. But the important factor here is this swarm of activity in the mid threes that's taking place in a high risk zone that you got to be on alert for. So therefore I issue an earthquake watch for this region. Definitely over the next 24 hours we need to be paying close attention to this area. I will see if I can't pull up a closer seismograph station in the region. Right now I do have one. Let's see, where's it at? The closest one for that area is going to be this station here in Hollister. On the San Andreas fault zone, but I will see if I can't pull up a closer station here after the earthquake video update. But for now, getting back to that, so we covered this here, and like I say, next 24 hours we'll definitely be watching this very closely and see if this activity picks up or if it dies down. Yellowstone National Park, what a difference today, folks. I know last night or sometime yesterday I was mentioning about an uptick in activity, and boy, it calmed down dramatically. I know we still have a couple smaller earthquakes popping off, but not as frequent as we had seen over the past couple days there, and that's kind of a good thing. And like always, we are keeping an eye on that area as well. It has not migrated one bit. There is no injection of magma, no stress on the magma chamber. This is purely tectonic in nature, and looks as though it may be calming down just a tad bit. So once again, that is a good thing. Cover the rest of California here real quick. A little bit of activity. You can see these little red squares down there in the Southern California region. Small little earthquake out there in the state of Nevada. Nothing big. 3.2 near Alamo, Nevada, at a depth of, well, not too deep. Check this out real quick. 8.9 miles, 14.3 kilometers if you go that route. But just a little bit of smaller activity. The rest of the earthquake 3D globe here shows obviously still continued activity in Mexico, southern Mexico, and also Chile has been having their lots of threes and some fours mixed in there as well. A little 4.8 earthquake over here in the Atlantic section. Nothing too big, which is a good thing. Well, we got 2.4 up there in this part of the world. Let's check this out here real quick. Near Vincent Ridge. Like I say, you don't see too much earthquake activity in that part of the world, but on occasion we do like to check it out and see what's going on there. So nothing major, just a little bit of activity. Other than that, Western Pacific still looking pretty gosh darn quiet. It's the Eastern Pacific over here that we're looking at, and where all the activity is, or most of it is. So keep an eye on California for now. Like I say, any day could be an earthquake day here for California. That concerns me too, because I am involved in that earthquake activity because I live here in California. I do have my earthquake plan already set up, and it's been set up for some time, and it's always good to have that ready, because you just never know. Anyway, folks, I hope everyone's having a great Friday, right? Friday? It is Friday 23rd. And it's actually my Friday as well, so I'm kind of happy. Hope you guys have a great weekend out there. We will be doing earthquake video updates throughout the weekend, and I'll be back on here tonight to cover any more earthquake activity. Also take a look at the area here on the map, the California map, see if we've had any more activity since this video. And yeah, so we'll chat to you guys a little bit later. Peace out, folks. Have a good one.